I built a $100,000 a month e-learning business. Then I sold it and lost everything. My name is Faith. I'm a business consultant and I help businesses scale. And I just want to tell you about my story. Not a lot of people that I know have built a 100K a month e-learning business. Not a lot of people have sold their e-learning business. Not a lot of people have lost everything and then have to build it back up. So, and I haven't really seen a lot of people online talk about it. So I definitely just wanted to share my story and my experience building this business, selling the business, and what I've been doing, a little bit of what I've been doing afterwards. So I came about this world of e-learning back in 2020, late 2020, December. I'd been posting about my journey in business and the skills that I've learned, and just like loads of people were just really interested. And one thing led to another, and people just wanted to like learn from me and just wanted my consulting. And because there was so many people asking me and I didn't have enough time to do it, I had to like figure out how can I like package it up and sell to them. So the first thing I ever did, and I was really scared doing it, was I sold this like digital product, like PDF file for like £20, £15, and I was so scared. Two reasons why I was so scared to do it. I was scared because I was like, yo, aren't people gonna feel like weird or feel some type of way like buying this from me? So I was like, no, I can't sell something. Like that's not good, that's not right, that doesn't feel ethical. But so I put it up for a day, and shout out to my boy Callum, because I was gonna take it off after a day. But he was like, no, keep it up. So I kept it up and I made like 8 sales the next day. And that led on to me making $1,000 that month. And that literally showed me that, yo, that completely changed my life. From there, we kept it as a, e-learning product. We just kept it as a course, digital product course. And by the way, my marketing fund at that time was Snapchat. And I'm gonna get onto how I sold it. So I was just doing, that was late 2020, then we go into 2021. We started scaling it. I started, I couldn't teach everybody, so I had to have coaches. Coaches come in and teach people for me, and we scaled it up to $10,000 a month, then $20,000 a month in 2021, and in 2022 we scaled it up to about $40,000, and then we started doing webinars. So in 2022, I started doing. So 2021, I was just doing more digital products. So it's just online, buy on the website, done. Then 2022, I learned about book a call sales funnel. So click a link, book a call, close the sale. Shout out Sam Ovens for that. The funny thing is I actually just like lost a lot of my money because I was trying to juggle way too many things at one time. And this is why I say it's so important that you don't try and juggle many different things at the same time. So yeah, like I just decided everything just came crashing down. And so I decided to focus on one thing, and I picked the sales call funnel. So we did that in 2022 going into 2023. Then I found the webinar model, and we were selling our product via webinar model. That was doing great. Hit our first $50,000, $60,000 a month. And then going into late 2023, I had a growth operator at the time. And they were really good. They helped me with the webinars. But I realized that when you have a growth operator, you kind of don't really learn yourself. You don't really get to learn yourself. So I lost all the skills that I'd gained from all the sales calls that I learned from Sam Ovens. And I've not lost them, but it's like, if you don't use it, you lose it type of thing. And because of that, I just kind of like thought like, what am I doing? I need to relearn these skills. So this is when I hired a mentor who would actually only consult me. Not I didn't want somebody that would, do the things for me. I'll do it myself, but you tell me what to do. And so we did that in 2023, and I started running it up to about 50, 60, $70,000 a month. Up until late 2023, start 2024, where we did $100,000 a month. I've got the proof to actually show it. That was my statement, January 1st to 2024. That's about £80,000, which is, let's see here, £80,000 of income in USD, which is $107,000. So I should actually put $107,000. But yeah, and some of you might be interested, thinking like, what the heck was I selling that made me $100,000 a month? I was teaching you how to buy and resell concert event tickets. So we had a e-learning product and program where we help 9-to-5ers make a side income, replace their income by buying and reselling and arbitraging event tickets. So, your Taylor Swifts, your Beyoncés. Yeah, we just taught people how to arbitrage those events and implement softwares and these different things so they can obviously, buy more tickets and make more profits. We had different softwares that would allow people to, just sell them before everybody else, buy them before everybody else, and all of these different things. Not buy them before everybody else, but obviously, just different tools, should we put it. And, I've got people really good results. People really did make a lot of money, hundreds of thousands. Everybody who joined in, on average, anybody who joined in made on average, within their first 60 days, on average, they made about $5,000 in profit. So it was a really, really successful business, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I've never actually ever spoken about why I sold it. I've never actually spoken online about why I've sold it, and here I am really gonna say it. And I sold it because two reasons. One main reason is because God. I had to have a really conversation with my God and myself, and I had to identify something like, I had to ask myself a question. Is this what I want to do for the next 10, 20, 30 years? Being associated with, artists like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and, these devil worshipping artists that, frankly, they don't really resonate or align with my brand. Is this what I want to do for the next however many amount of years? And I was like, no, I just don't. Like, I don't want to be promoting these kind of artists. And I felt a strong conviction in my heart. And I didn't really know how I was going to sell it. I had no idea about that world of selling. So I went to go learn, had mentors, shout out Will Brown, Timothy Armu. These are people that have sold their businesses, and I learned from them, and they taught me how to sell it. 12 months later, I sold the business. I sold it to my closer, actually. So someone in my business, he took out a loan. People do that for businesses, and it made sense for him, and I sold it to him. And I'll be honest with you, it got to the point, like, look, I won't reveal the figure, but I didn't sell it for any kind of crazy amount, and I could have. I was inquiring with people from America, big ticket brokers who were making millions, and yeah, we had some serious conversations, but it just got to a point with me where I'm like, the longer I stick with this business, the longer it's taken away from my destiny. Like, if I keep on having this business, I'm actually stopping myself from doing what I really need to do in this world. So I just had to make that decision to just get rid of this business as quick as possible. And I just did, just got rid of it and moved on. Now, again, this is something I've never really said on social media. And it's a lesson I've learned, and I hope that nobody ever goes through this lesson. But when I sold it, the money was good, and it was good money. But because I've had a lifestyle of a 100K a month entrepreneur, that money didn't last long. That money's not gonna last long if you are not being able to replace it with another business that's gonna make you hundreds of thousands a month. And it didn't last long and it taught me a real business. Number one, if you're gonna sell a business or if you're gonna move, you better have a plan. Like, yes, we all know planning is important. And another thing is that no offer lasts forever. Now, I know I could have scaled that ticket retailing offer and there was nothing wrong with it. And in fact, to be honest with you, one of my very good friends who is in that industry, who makes millions from ticket reselling, he told me that, you know what, Faith, you actually sold it at the right time because it's not making as much money as it is anymore. And that was really comforting to hear. But it just revealed to me that, look, no offer lasts forever. Like, it also told me the value of investments. Like, when you make money, invest it. Thank God I did buy a house. Thank God, I have started, some other property ventures. But and this is things that you don't really hear in the online space. You don't hear people talk about how they are managing their money. All you hear is how people make money. But managing your money is way more important than making money. People don't talk about how they are giving their money. Like, what are they trying to build with their money? Like, it's all good and all, you've made money, but your goal wasn't to make 10K a month. Are you just gonna live on this earth and all you wanna do is just make 10K a month? There are much bigger goals than that. What are you trying to build? As for myself, I'm trying to build the kingdom of God. That happens through my tithe, and I'm also trying to do other projects. As for myself, I'm trying to build a way that younger people can get business education for free. So that when I was younger, I didn't have anybody to teach me about business. I want to provide something like that. What are you trying to build? I don't really hear conversations about that. All people talk about is what they want to do for themselves and make money and make money and make money and make money. And nobody told me that you have to actually manage your money. Nobody told me that, you know what, you have to actually give your money. Because money has to flow. Money is a constant flow. It's a constant machine and it has to flow. And you can't ever stop that flowing process. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of insight into my journey. I haven't really made a video like this before. Just wanted to come and kind of give it. And it's like, yeah, man, like this is the story. This is kind of how I built a 100K a month business, e-learning business. I sold the business, went broke and lost everything. And God taught me a bunch of problems, I learned a bunch of lessons from that. And they were good, but yeah, that's just a bit of my story. Peace. Subscribe and do all that fun stuff, because I'm gonna go hard.